Oh, no problem. We are live, folks, and we're smiling. Hopes, we're smiling. We're happy.
3 points in the bag, baby. 3 points.
Sesame Street is brought to you today by the number three. And what letter do you want to put towards that? F for fucking wonderful?
Well, it's just, yeah, I'm just happy we won. We won.
Yeah.
How'd you find it?
And there's plenty of time to talk about 60 minutes before, but what about the last 30 minutes? Let's get there first.
The last 30, let's say the last 45.
Yeah.
Credit to Freddie. Whatever he said in that dressing room worked.
Yeah.
Whatever Freddie said in that dressing room worked. Already I've seen the Arsenal fan base, some saying, right, it's not good enough, get rid of Freddie, what have you. Why can't we as a fan base just fucking celebrate 3 points? It's not a draw, it's not a loss, it's 3 points. Okay, it's West
Yeah.
Ham, but it's 3 points.
Take it on face value. We've
Yeah,
had enough. We've had enough dread and doom for the last 2 months. 2 months and 3 days. The 6th of October. We haven't had a win, so we're gonna enjoy it, right?
absolutely. Credit to Freddie, credit to the players for turning it around. I'm talking about the last 45 minutes, right? Second half. Look, you don't have to be Einstein to say there remain so many
Yes.
problems. However,
Yeah.
we celebrate that. Our team won. If we really want the best for our club, why can't we celebrate? I'm celebrating. I'm chuffed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Uh, Martinelli. I tweeted he may have, in some small way, he may have turned the tide this season for us.
I mean,
Premier League debut.
yeah, absolutely. Premier League debut, Premier League goal. His first goal on his debut. It's just wow. The guy's got energy. The guy's hungry. Even though a lot of senior players their heads dropped, but yeah, isn't he such a breath of fresh air? To watch. Isn't he so refreshing? He's hungry and he's so young, and he only cost us 8 million quid.
Yeah, we've got a few of those bargain basement players, but Martinelli, we need to kind of hold on to him now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's early days yet because of this circus that is surrounding our football club at the moment. Yes, we won.
Personally, we're
Absolutely.
gonna
And let's
celebrate it.
celebrate that. Let's celebrate. We won. Yeah, and it wasn't 1-0 either. It wasn't 1-0. It was
No,
3-1,
no.
And yeah, this circus that surrounds us at the minute, maybe he will, maybe he won't. I just think it's a bit too premature personally to look at his future. If anything, let's get him to sign on the dotted line like we did with Matteo Guendouzi over the summer, just to
Yeah,
steal him, just to make sure any prying eyes are deterred.
yeah. He has been about our brightest spot, apart from Aubameyang, this season. We expect it from Aubameyang, right, Hopes?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he has. Yeah, I cannot disagree with that. Martinelli has been alongside Kieran Tierney. There's been a few. Saka at the start, but then he kind of fizzled. He's fizzling away. Don't forget, Martinelli is a young lad. You know. Um, but yeah, just fantastic to watch. Even I think we were at the point where we were one up or 2-1 up, and there were two West Ham defenders in their box, and he still beat them to the ball. He still beat them to the ball. He
Yeah.
went through them.
And even in the first half, he was taken down, I think, by Cresswell. He got to the ball first as well. He's got
Yeah.
some pace. So, Noe, yes, we won. Fire, 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 fire. And away as well. Come on, you Gooners. Up the Arsenal.
Red Army, Red Army.
And yes, we're going to be a little bit over the top here because there has been enough doom and gloom this season. I tweeted, I think, in the last day or two that this game might be suited to Pepe and his style, and we saw what he's been trying to do all season, bend a shot into that top left-hand corner.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to, yeah, just to be a bit realistic here, from my perspective.
Oh,
So,
you're pumping the brakes now.
yeah, well, it was a game of two halves. I still, Pepe got out of jail with that strike.
Mm.
We all know he's capable of that. Even prior, after signing for our club, all the goals he scored last season for his old club, so on and so forth. The two free kicks post his arrival, we know he's got that in him. But 1 minute of brilliance,
Yeah.
89 minutes of what the fuck, I mean, when we went 2-1 up and he's run forward and he's just sat on the floor, that reminded me of Ozil. Like he's just giving up, like, okay, now what am I supposed to do? I've lost the ball. No, you get up and you run back. This is the Premier League.
Yeah.
I think he needs refining, but there's a player there. There's a player there. And for that, yeah, there's hope. It gives us fans a weapon to say, actually, yeah, he cost 72 million. Yeah, he's not the sharpest pencil in the toolbox. However, he's showing promise. What do you reckon?
Yeah, and he needs this 6 months that he's had now to settle in a little bit, Hopes. Noe, I can finally wear my Nicolas Pepe jersey now with pride. What a performance. Yes, indeed, Noe. I think hopefully we're going to start to see the best part of Nicolas Pepe now, Nicola Pepe. And he created the assist for Bamiyang, Hopes.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's too early to see the best of him yet. What I did like, I mean, it's a shame I couldn't make the game, but I mean, for those who were there, I'd really like to know about his situational awareness today, because what I saw on the TV, he was tracking back, he was providing Ainsley cover, something he's not really, and he wasn't just tracking back for the sake of tracking back, he was tracking back with with wanting to get the ball and to initiate the run. And a couple of times, not a couple, 5 times I counted, he made the run on the counter, but Xhaka didn't pass him the ball. Xhaka decided to look for Aubameyang or what have you, but he made the run 5 times. It's just going forward, he's getting there according to Premier League, but now it's coming back. Let's track back as well. Let's make you the whole rounded player that you are.
Yeah, and he's coming to a bigger club. Expectations are going to be on him, albeit we're in the middle of the table right now. We're not fighting for anything right now. But hopefully he can be around the player. And hopefully Freddie Ljungberg is trying to instill this quick transition through midfield. I think that if Xhaka is going to be in the team, he's got to play alongside Torreira. And we saw that tonight.
Absolutely. Remember our last podcast when we spoke about Guendouzi with Stan?
Yep.
And his reaction after coming off, and where's he started? Post twice, not once, twice.
Yeah.
Something is going on there. When he came on, as he was preparing to come on, putting his socks on, and Freddie went up to him to give him instructions, he wouldn't look Freddie in the face. His body language was speaking volumes, something towards Freddie, perhaps. But yeah, that midfielding pairing of Xhaka and Torreira, great, but Xhaka remains the liability. I haven't seen the stats yet. There were numerous occasions where he just did a Xhaka. However, what I would like to credit him on, or Freddie, or whoever, he's trying in the last couple of games, the balls he's playing, he's trying to go forward, not back or sideways. He's trying to make the forward pass, irrespective of if it's a counter or not. He's trying to make that forward pass.
And he does have a pass in him as well, Granit Xhaka.
Yeah. What do
But
you think? What do you think of his performance tonight?
I was at work, so I rushed back. I just saw the highlights, so I'm really relying on you more to tell
Sure,
me
sure.
how he played.
Yeah, Xhaka. I mean, for their goal, um, when they scored first, our defense was just too far back. Xhaka was the only man near the penalty spot, and again, he didn't know what was going on, and the opposition just capitalized on that and just got the goal. Um, it was kind of like a goal sort of deflection. There was a lot of VAR going on, whether it
Oh,
was at the hand or not.
for the
However,
West Ham goal.
yeah, I think whoever comes in to replace Freddie, hopefully, I think it's time Xhaka went. There are so many players out there who could do what he does,
Yeah.
but can do it better than him. He's too much of a. Already, you've got a liability in Louise, Mustafi, and Socrates. Now, ahead of them, you've got the liability that is Xhaka. Torreira was outstanding. He was doing what he's supposed to do, is mopping up the balls, playing them forward, simple football. He bailed Xhaka out a few times as well. And I don't have an agenda. It's just what I saw. It's just what I saw, and I'm
I don't
calling
believe in
it.
agendas. I believe in opinions.
Yeah, and me too. Yeah, me too. I don't. I mean, I want Xhaka to be the guy we want him to be. But come on, he's shown time and time again that he's not the guy. And to elaborate upon Xhaka, then we go to the team. A lot has been said about this team the last couple of games. Especially since Freddie took over. Even now, I saw some fans tweeting, "Oh, Freddie's going to ruin our club. Get him out. Get him out." Fuck you. Sorry, but like at least celebrate. You know,
Yeah.
Freddie is bailing us out because the players, they're very low on confidence. The first half, it was appalling. I believe the stat when it took us 31 minutes until we played two passes in the opposition half.
Yeah. I
That's
saw a tweet about us having the majority of possession, but it was in our own half.
Yeah, in our own half, it was just there was you could tell we just lacked confidence. We did not have anything about us, no creativity, no nothing. Everybody was everywhere. Then then they scored, and we kind of, we upped our game a bit after the 31st minute. Even before they'd scored, we upped our game after the 31st minute. Slightly, it wasn't the best game. It's only West Ham, but it
Yeah.
means so
And
much for that confidence. Because if
yeah.
we as a fan base are going to expect miracles with an interim manager who is not even a fully pledged interim manager, he's on the ascendancy, on the way up.
Yeah.
He's doing us a favor. If we're going to slate him, how fucking ungrateful are we?
Yeah.
The problem is, in my opinion, twofold: the board and the players. But the players showed tonight whatever Freddie said in the dressing room at half time. We scored 3 goals in 9 minutes.
Yeah.
Don't tell me we ain't got the fucking players. We have got the players. It's just that the confidence, the philosophy, the man management, the tactics, they're not there. But credit where it's due. Because Freddie could have said, "Look, sod you guys, you're not doing it, blah, blah, blah." But no, he obviously has that in order to want us to do well, and
Yeah.
credit for that.
Saw the team sheet an hour before kickoff, and I was very heartened. I don't know if you saw my tweets throughout the 90 minutes, but I was very, very heartened by the team. Aside from Socrates, who has not been our best performer this year, I like Chambers as central defender. I believe he had a decent game. The fullbacks, obviously, we all want Tierney and Bellerin. There's some kind of hex over our club right now.
Let me stop you there because Bellerin didn't start the game.
Correct.
Right. Okay. You know that, yeah? Because you said you
There's
did.
some kind of cloud over our club that we can't get our fullbacks, our
And
first choice fullbacks on the pitch.
that's another thing, right? Our defense is shit anyway. Now we turn up to an away game, and Bellerin doesn't start. He's injured, and Tierney gets taken off after about 24th, 25th.
Yeah.
He was holding his hand, maybe suspected break of arm, or maybe
Shoulder.
fractured it.
Possibly. I'm just saying, possibly shoulder.
Yeah.
We won't know until the scan comes in, obviously.
Our defense is shit. Now, even if you've got Pep Guardiola in there, who has no defense, well, he doesn't have two centre backs at the minute, and let's see what results we've all seen the results he's managing to get without two centre backs. We haven't had a defense for the last 12, 13 years, you know, if not longer. And
we're missing Koscielny, and maybe he's a bad name to put into the mix for what he did, but he was a decent defender.
Yeah, we just haven't had a defense for over a decade, let's say. And even tonight, we started with a makeshift defense, and in front of them, we've got Xhaka and Torreira. So we've got 50% of the team ahead of them, right? Yeah. So we're just like the woman in the brothel with her legs open, right?
Yeah.
You know, just come and do whatever you want. Then we've got the gladiator in Leno in goal. And yeah, it was just, you know, but still, whatever Freddie said in that dressing room, however, you know, tonight showed those, you know, a lot of our fans call out the players. Tonight showed the first half was shit. The players did not turn up, but whatever was said in the dressing room, they turned up. 3 goals, 9 minutes. That's facts. You can't take that away.
Let me ask you this question. Put the cat among the pigeons here. Do you think it was something Freddie said in the dressing room, or did the players turn it around themselves in the second half?
I think it was both. I think Freddie lit the rocket, and Freddie lit the rocket, and then that had an effect on whatever he said. The players then did whatever it need to be done. And our front three, when was the last time our front three all scored an individual goal?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Something that I had advocated for recently, Lacazette is a very, very good player, but it has not been working with him being shoehorned into the front three, you know. Well, we're talking about, it looks like we almost have minders. We got Chambers to be a minder for Socrates, and we got Torreira to be minder for Xhaka in midfield. 50% of the spine of our team is not performing very well.
No. And hopefully, whilst we're waiting for this new man to come in, Freddie can try and work on the individual attributes, the strength of the players. Because you don't kick a man when he's down. You know, if I'm at work, I don't want my manager to like have a go at me and start telling me I'm doing a shit job. Put your arm around me, you know, and lift me up, you know. Just like, you know, when Pepe come off, even though, in my opinion, he had a really, you know, apart from the goal, he didn't do much. You know, he was his passing, his situational awareness. You know, he had moments of brilliance, but there were two less. You know, there is the player in him, but when he came off, Freddie still embraced him for a good minute on that touchline. You know, just whatever he said, just to like try and give him that confidence.
Yeah. And I'm just thinking as well, Hopes, Freddie had played in that right wing, inside right position. So he will be the best person to advise Pepe where to be. You're talking about situational awareness, where to be in what in every scenario for Pepe. So possibly we're seeing green shoots. Something to be happy about, right?
3 games in. A win, a loss, and a draw. 3 games in. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not saying to all the viewers who are out there watching, I'm not saying give Freddie the job. No, I'm just saying let's just take a breather and let's just appreciate what he's doing, and that he's in the fire. He's literally, in my opinion, Freddie's gone on to death row. Yeah, because he's got the board are clueless, and the players were just as when you watch it back, the first half, it was absolutely abysmal. Fire. It was poor. It was terrible. You could see there was no confidence. We couldn't even pass straight. A 5-yard pass, we couldn't make it. there was nothing happening for us.
Yeah.
And slowly but surely, the green shoots,
Yeah. On 35 minutes, I tweeted, it's in our DNA to concede a goal before halftime. Please don't let it happen, Arsenal. 3 or 4 minutes later, what happened? We conceded a goal.
Yeah.
Unfortunate, a little bit unlucky though. The header comes in, it comes off Ainsley Maitland-Niles, and Leno has no chance with it.
Mate, Ray, it was just shit defending. That's all it was. And like I say, no matter how good we are up the top, without the service, it ain't happening. You could have had the best manager in today, but that was some real contingency stuff going on, putting Ainsley Maitland-Niles right back, putting like Classing that weren't even meant to play, but he came on because he had a problem with his groin. There was so much like being glued together on the fly, and I don't care if it was West Ham or whoever it was, no disrespect to West Ham. Let's not forget, about 10 days ago, they beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge 1-0.
Yes.
Now they narrowly lost to Tottenham, Mourinho's first game, on a 3-2, and we've just gone to their ground with our shit defense, like being torn apart before the game and then during the game, and we still go and win 3-1 with an interim manager.
Exactly. The other thing, Hopes, you were talking about, I'm very, very thankful with Bellerin going off that Chambers was not moved out to the right wing, right side. That tells me that Freddie Ljungberg knows who he has in David Luiz and Socrates together, and it's not a combination he wants to put together lightly. So he was maybe tempted, but he did not put Chambers at right back with Bellerin going out. Think about that for a second.
That's a very good shout, right? A very, very good shout.
Freddie is starting to understand his team and who they are.
Absolutely. And one thing that comes into my mind in relation to that, in response to that, is perhaps he knew as well that Bellerin's not going to be there for our next couple of games. So revert back to Ainsley Maitland-Niles, give Chambers the chance, like you're saying. I don't know where Holding is. He wasn't even on the bench. I don't know if he's injured. But let's see what the partnership with Chambers looks like. There's a very good
and also, let's try and build up Ainsley Maitland-Niles, his confidence again. He's not going to be a world beater at right back. We're not going to say he's going to be in the World 11, picked as the right back in the World 11, but he can do a job, and we need to build his confidence back up in that position.
Absolutely, definitely. I think this is where not just Freddie, but the senior players come into it as well. He hasn't been playing most of this season, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, but just to come back under that pressure, knowing the state of the club and what's going on behind the scenes, and to come and put in a shift like that, massive credit. And hopefully, like you say, it shows that Freddie does have some belief in him. He's also playing out of position, and maybe, just maybe, Freddie's trying to mark him down for the next couple of games we got coming up. So we got a really busy schedule coming up, starting on Thursday. However, yeah, definitely, so quick is our fan base to criticize and to, just expecting miracles overnight. But we are so fucked. Sorry, that's the only word I can think of. We're in a crisis. I called this game the Monday Night Massacre. Right?
You did.
We
did it. We did the massacring.
Thank God. Yeah, we're in such dire straits at the minute. Players, board, everyone, that we needed this, and all it does, it papers over the cracks. Now, I'm not saying let Freddie sign. I'm not saying that. I'm still vetoing my proposal for Pochettino to come in. But in the interim, if our players can regain that confidence, it's that little bit less the new man has to do, knowing he's got Ljungberg in there as a number 2 as well, who Ljungberg will feed into him and say, right, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, strengths, weaknesses.
Yeah.
You know, this is when you want to play him. This is when you don't want to play him. You know.
Yeah, and Freddie's gaining invaluable experience here as well.
Absolutely.
And to your point, Hopes, where the senior players have to help the younger players. That's absolutely true. I might be going back a little bit in years, and you're gonna know my age by telling you this. I know Ray Houghton with the Irish setup. He said at a certain point in time in his career, he realized he was not the young player. He was the most senior player, and he had to help the younger players in the international setup. So that's something you got to give to your team when you're an established player in the team, like an Aubameyang or an Ozil. They've got to lead the team now.
Absolutely, and I think they do. I think they do. Hey, Dom. Hey,
Hey,
Dom.
Don Juan, thanks for coming in.
I wholeheartedly think the senior players do. And I say that because I've seen the actions of Aubameyang when Lacazette was low on confidence and he gave him the penalty. Then he done the same with Pepe. I see when Xhaka was given, even prior to Xhaka being given the captaincy, you know, he was trying to fire them up. Matteo Guendouzi, despite being a young man himself, was, you know, was always trying to get the players up and going. Socrates as well. So yeah, I think there is promise and signs of that happening, and that is good, because let's be honest, what we're going to do with Ainsley Maitland-Niles, because he's not, I don't think he's better at right mid or right on the wing than Nelson or Pepe. So it's kind of like you know, try and make this position your own, Ainsley. You know, try and fight Bellerin for it. And with that management, he can do what he needs to do, you know.
Don Juan, I think Ainsley Maitland-Niles played okay. He's still a very young player. Bellerin is a worry, so injury prone, and it's starting to happen as well with Tierney.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but we've got a smile on our face tonight. Even if we do have injuries, thanks to Boots TX for telling us Holding is still nursing a bruised knee. Could be back later this week. And Ceballos has a slight hamstring tear. I think Ceballos is coming back mid-December. So hopefully we can start getting some players back.
That would be fantastic, because that's what happened with Unai's reign as well. However, with Unai, where we started, or Unai or the board, when they spent the money, I was thinking tonight regarding Pepe, where we spent the money on Pepe, maybe we needed to spend more on the defence, you know. But it was also a case of who's available. Ceballos, I think he needs time to get up to speed with the English game. He had that one game at the start of the season.
Yeah.
And
I won Barnstormer at Burnley at home.
Absolutely, yeah. And when I was there, it was fantastic to watch that stuff. But then it was like, okay, it's too much now. And with Tierney, maybe, just maybe, in the last 2 or 3 games. Now, I don't know if you remember, but Bellerin and Tierney both started on the bench. Now, our fan base didn't like that. What is Tierney doing on the bench? You know, Kolasinac can't cross the ball. What's Bellerin doing on the bench? Blah, 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 blah. But it just goes to show we didn't know everything, right? Because maybe Freddie knew they were fragile, that, you know, the medics at Arsenal were letting him know.
It's so difficult, though, to put yourself in. We are supporters, and I think that way as well, Hopes. It's so difficult. We went out and we got a prime left back, and we have a very, very decent right back, and we want them in the team. So we just want that. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And I think with Tierney, once he stabilizes, we've all seen. I don't think anyone can doubt he is the future left back of Arsenal Football Club. You know, definitely, he just needs to get that consistent run of games. Fit or not, I think maybe put him on the bench to, like, you know, get his confidence up and get him in the team, get him around the first team players. But it's going to take time for him to settle. But in the meantime, I feel sorry for any manager who's coming in, because they know our defence is absolute shite. And will we spend in January on a defender? you know, who's
Ah,
available, who's going to come in, and if we don't, we're going to have to then ride the storm. You know, weather the storm until we do get that solid back line. You know,
yeah. Ozil had a part in all three goals. Played quite well, huh?
first half non-existent, usual Ozil tactics, lost the ball. You know, up and up and I'm in and R in. Freddie in the first half called him over, tried to give him some instructions. I don't think Ozil Mesut took kindly to it. I could tell off his body language. He was just like, "Oh, who do you think you're talking to?" And that kind of body language. Second half, wow, yeah. Second half, Ozil was doing what he wanted. Now, is that because he was receiving the ball where he wants it in his part of the pitch?
His pocket.
We all know he's not coming to defend, right?
No,
The only fear is just to go
plays on the
slightly
D.
off. Yeah, I mean, the only fear is I hope Pepe's not learning because a couple of times,
Bad habits.
yeah, Pepe he lost the ball and he just sat there and he started laughing. He didn't run back. He started laughing. Now Ozil is like, if you give him the ball on a counter attack and he's quick and so on and so forth, but otherwise he is very slow, sluggish. He's a luxury player, but at the end of the day, who else do we put in his position currently as of this moment?
Ceballos is his direct replacement, and he's injured right now.
You
So
take you take Ozil out the team now, you got no one to replace him.
you've got Guendouzi, who's not the same kind of player.
Nah.
Is not. He's energetic, but he goes backwards, forwards. He goes sideways. Guendouzi's like that joystick where you can go forward, back, left, right, spin around. He's
I
that
tell,
PlayStation player that you want to spin around and do all the tricks with.
absolutely. I tell you something though. When Guendouzi come on tonight, he was literally passing the ball within 1 or 2 seconds. None of this hold on the ball for an hour and all this. He was literally give and go, give and go, give and go, which I was taken aback by. And I don't know if that's Freddie's input.
So thanks, folks, for coming into the comments. Really love the interaction. Don Juan, Noe earlier, and Boots, TX here. The toll, 3 points. The toll is some injuries. Hopes. Pepe took a knock today as well after the game. He seemed to be slightly limping. Add Tierney and Bellerin into that. Xhaka came off as well. What's the state of our injuries right now?
Hopefully with Pepe, it's not too catastrophic. You know, and he still has a week before we play Man City. Sure, we've got the European game on Thursday, but I think the young guns are enough to put them away. We can put Reece Nelson in, put Saka in, you know, those kind of players to do a job for us. Hopefully Pepe's back. If Tierney, we're just going to have to accept we can't do anything. And Bellerin, yeah, it's a shame. It's a real shame, but it's a consequence of the lack of investment in our defence for the last, you could say, since Arsene Wenger's reign. Sorry, I had to bring him in it, but we have, you know, yeah, we haven't. It's no lie. We've got a team of midfielders and attackers. Unai didn't plug the gap as well. Saliba being on loan, a part of his deal, is not helping. But then he's going to need time to come up to scratch. At the minute, you know, it's like building a house, right? If you use cheap bricks, your house is coming down, and that's where we need to give Leno protection. We need to give the defense protection. We need that centre midfielder who wants the ball and who's going to run at the opposition and track back, box to box midfielder. With Xhaka, I don't really mind because we've got Willock, we've got Guendouzi.
There's a question for you from Boots TX. Was this a putrid victory? Did we turn it on in the second half, or were we lucky? because it wasn't good for. You're saying the first half wasn't good. People are saying the first 60 minutes wasn't good.
It wasn't. I cannot disagree with that. Was it? I mean, at the end of the day, a victory's a victory. And what does that putrid victory, if it is putrid, if we stick with that word, mean
Yeah,
for the players' confidence? Who asked that? Boots. You
good.
know, what does it mean for the players' confidence, putrid or otherwise? It's
A
3 points in the bag.
a win is a win, right?
And we're not now. Hopefully, we're a bit further away from the R word, relegation. You know, what does it mean for Freddie's confidence, the players' confidence, the backroom staff's confidence? Now Freddie says, I've seen what you can do. 3 goals in 9 minutes, putrid or otherwise.
I'll tell you something, Hopes. I've been talking to some Liverpool YouTubers, and hopefully I'll get them on. I was trying to get them on for our League Cup game last month or 2 months ago. They will absolutely take however many more putrid victories they need. They will take them to give them the league win.
You're so right. I was talking to a Liverpool fan just this afternoon, and he told me the exact same. He said the last game Liverpool played, they were all over the place, but they got the victory, and that's what we do in the Premiership. We cannot turn it on each game, especially with the players we have. We're not a City, and even the likes of City with the players they have, you know, they sometimes have putrid victories. It's, you know, I would ask Boots, TX, I would say, does it matter?
No, I would say Boots is happy as well, but we just need to classify what kind of victory it was, and I'd have to go along with that. It was putrid for 60 minutes. We can surmise about what happened in the dressing room. Freddie may have had some words of wisdom. The players the penny might have dropped, as we say in Ireland, and they might have come out in the second half and copped onto themselves and got a nice victory in the end. At the end of the day, it's West Ham away from home. It's 3 points.
It's away from home. And put it this way, I personally don't think you can play that shit for 45 minutes. There was 5 minutes added on at the end of the first half because of the injuries and all of that. However, I don't think they can just come out and suddenly switch it on. I think Freddie, I would say 95% Freddie has said something to do whatever, and whatever he said has worked because it was the same players, no subs, nothing. I think his sub was in the 80th when he took Pepe off.
Yeah.
You know, Xhaka had to come off. He wasn't, you know, he was injured, but he's optional. You know, he's voluntarily his voluntary substitutions came in the 80th minute. Why? You know,
And Boots has gone on to clarify. He said he meant probably a freak victory. Sorry, the confidence is good, but we lost 2 of our arguably best defenders to injury. And Don Juan.
sorry, can I just answer that? Granted, we lost 2 of our defenders, but that's the game. That's the world we live in. You know, that you play that level of football, it can happen.
Our squad is that thin that we do need our first 11 on the field all the time.
Yeah, and maybe by losing those defenders, KSC will actually try and invest more heavily in defenders. Hopefully, as we speak now, you know, our scouts and whoever the powers to be are actually looking at defenders.
Don Juan said we need to move on from Luis and Socrates. We need to start playing Holding and Chambers. And I really, really hope and believe that Freddie Ljungberg has started to realize that. Oops.
Absolutely, but with Holding nursing a bruised knee, you can't play an injured player.
Yeah.
Let's be realistic. I don't think Freddie's a mug. He sees that, but realistically, what option does he have? Because let's be honest, he could have played Louise Mustafi with Socrates tonight, but he chose Chambers. Like you said, Ray, maybe it's because he's coming round to this idea.
The penny is dropping. Freddie knows now who he has and who he can trust. And David Luiz and Socrates as a pair, maybe not the pairing that he wants to trust. Don Juan, I love the respect between Freddie and the players at the end of the game. That's the passion we saw with Duncan Ferguson at the weekends. You love to see that at the club, right?
We see that with Klopp. We see that with Pep. We see it. We used to see it with Alex Ferguson. Definitely that is massive.
Evening, afternoon, stand the man. 3 points and away win. Smiles on the faces.
Yeah.
Sesame Street brought to you today by the number 3. Three
Yeah.
goals from our front three and three valuable points. Big difference between 3 and none hopes in our league position.
What it does for us, what it does for the players, and Freddie especially, hopefully Freddie can now build on this.
You can't measure it. You can't measure confidence.
It's a shame that, after Thursday's game, he's really going to be up against it with City, Chelsea, and United. But sometimes the best way to learn is to be thrown in. And, Freddie's played in these top games. He knows what's required. He's not a fool. He knows the Premier League. So, hopefully we can build on this, even if it means I'll take a draw against all three. I especially with our defense, going back to what Boots said, we Boots or Don, where we've lost our defenders.
Yeah.
This victory has cost us 2 defenders, but if we manage to get a draw against those 3 teams, it's better than nothing.
Confidence. Let's mention Arsene Wenger again. It's very hard. Confidence is very hard to come back. You lose it very quickly. And I think there's a lot to that, especially in this game.
Especially with our fan base. Even with the win tonight.
The other thing I wanted to get into, will our fan base back off a little bit?
From what I've seen, a lot of the fans are still calling for Freddie's head. Right? And it's like, come on, like, be grateful. How many club legends would say, I know the ship is sinking fast. You know what? I'll take the job. It's confidence, and hopefully we can really start turning things around. But it's going to take time. With the players he's got now, with the injuries, it's rubbed salt in his wounds. But at least tonight he'll sleep knowing, you know what? There's a chance. We have a chance.
Boots is asking, you think we pushed the players to come back sooner than expected? Not fully fit, making them stretch and succumb to injury more easily. Possible. And the fan base may have had a part to play in that.
Definitely, because Tierney would have played before today, because he was just on the bench.
Stan, appreciate everybody in the comments. Appreciate everybody watching back on playback. Appreciate all of the recent subscribers. This channel's growing, and appreciate you, Hopes, for coming on tonight.
Thanks for having me. Hit the like button.
Sorry?
Hit the like button. Towards in the
Hit
comments.
the like button. They know where the like button is. I'm not going to beg for likes. You all know where the like button is, right? But we're all mates here in the chats. Subscribers watching back on playback, let me know what you thought about this victory. It's victories for Arsenal like hen's teeth. They're very rare, so let's enjoy them. Let's put a smile on our face. That's what Freddie wanted with the players. Stan the man, the first 60 minutes were absolutely toilet. Nice emoji. Is that in your top emojis, Stan? I really hope the pennies dropped and we can take this into the next league game against City. Let's talk about City now. Let's switch. First of all, Hopes, tell me about this game and what it might do for our confidence. Because I actually tweeted earlier. The first half, we were thinking we were going to get slapped by City. By the end of the game, I'm like, let's have a go at City. What's to lose with that game?
Let's start with the positives. We play at home, and we've just got 3 points in the league, and our front three have scored a goal. That's without Lacazette even playing. Those are the positives. The major negative is City, as we speak, are a wounded animal. They're a wounded animal.
They are. The league is done for them.
They need points. They need points, and they're coming for the kill. And let's be honest, if Bellerin and Tierney don't play, God help that back four, and God help Leno. You know, especially, I mean, if I was Freddie, I'd probably play 8-1-1. You know, you know, it's gonna be the play.
We can't defend. We have to go at them.
Exactly like Stan just said. If we play like we did in the first 60 against City, it will be 5-0 to City. And that will then take us, it's going to be yo-yo. It's this circus. It's just a circus. The next 3 league games, it's, you know, I'm really hoping we get something from them. But City have got a lot to prove at the minute. And we then take that confidence into the Chelsea game and then the Man United game.
Just a quick comment to the side there. Boots, these are the kind of comments we love. I told my niece, was 7 years old, and I started this last December. I started a YouTube channel, and she looked at it and she's like, "You've only got it's crap." She said it's crap, but it's not for my niece. She said it wasn't very good. But we don't beg for likes around here. And Boots, thanks for that comment. We love chatting Arsenal too. That's what we're here for. Yeah. Boots also said it's ridiculous. The fans need to let the program run its course in progress. Got to give the head guys, time to work with these players. And that's what it's all about, really. I heard a great point. Hope said, yes, Freddie Ljungberg has been around the players for 3 or 4 months now, but he's only really had handful of real sessions working with the players. Has had the license to work with them. Perhaps he was under the tutelage of Emery and his coaching staff, and he couldn't really get involved too much, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And number 2, there's so much you can say. There's so much you can do. I mean, the likes of Willock, you know, have already praised him. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, and a lot of the young players who were, you know, playing for him in the under 23s. Irrespective of that, Freddie is not the end product for us. And Freddie said himself, as soon as we find a man, I'm more than happy to step down and just carry on learning and progressing at this club because I love the club, which is fantastic. However, you know, I just give massive respect to Freddie for doing what he's doing. And it's just a shame. Again, I go back to it. The next 3 teams we played, they're you know, will the fans give him time? Some will, but it just angers me, annoys me, just for them to think that we've got some divine right to go out because what we've done, you know, so many years ago, over 10 years, nearly over 20 years ago, not quite 20, but you know, it's suddenly we just want instant success, and it ain't happening. It is not happening.
Let me see the fixtures because we know City's coming up next.
City, Chelsea, Man United.
But not in that order, right?
In that order.
City, we go to Everton.
Sorry.
Bournemouth, then Chelsea, then United. Yeah, that New Year's is going to be tough. With Chelsea at home, and actually it's 2 home games, Hopes. We've got Chelsea and United, so reason to be hopeful there. Let's quickly go. Let's forget about Standard Liège. We're already through there.
I would say, thank God we have Everton and Bournemouth sandwiched in between those top 6 clubs, because hopefully if we take a massive L or massive beating against City, we can try and recoup our confidence against Everton. Yeah. So it's going to be like that.
Everton, a tough place to go to. They're on the upward now.
with Ferguson, he means no business. We have to be on our top game. Hopefully, Willie Walcott and
Wobby.
Awobi, put in a good word for us, or hopefully, something will happen there.
All right, let's quickly get to City then. Let's not go overboard. West Ham are a decent side. It was away from home. We got 3 points. We've got smiles on our faces. But let me see just some of the comments here. We showed our quality. We played football for 10 minutes, but West Ham couldn't live with us.
Great.
That's a great comment. Teams do not need to play for 90 minutes. You come alive, you score your goals, shut it down. That's what Manchester City have done for the last 3 years.
It's what Liverpool are doing at the minute.
Manchester City, they're going to be vicious, and we need to get the first punch in the mouth to set them back on their heels. So a good start is needed. Obviously, our fullbacks are going to be exposed, but let's play Chambers and another player in central defense. You know, I totally agree. Don Juan, Emery.
Can I just add that? I noticed in the last 2 games when Kolasinac is playing, it's almost like he's been given the instruction not to run forward. Like tonight, when he came on, he wasn't making those runs. Martinelli was doing that running for him. So maybe against City, the back four will sit there. They'll just sit and let the wingers, the midfielders, provide the service.
So Stan had said Emery may be the Everton manager by then with clenched teeth emoji. Hey, we got a smile on our face tonight, and we're going to wrap it up pretty soon, but I really appreciate everybody coming in. Don Juan, I have a weird feeling about that game, City 2-1. Obviously, our viewpoint would be different if we did not win tonight.
I'd agree, bro. I'd agree. I would be less confident if we lost tonight. But now I'm going into that game thinking the best we could probably do is get a draw.
I'm going to enjoy that game on Sunday, Hopes. Tactically, I want to see what Freddie can do against the Pep team. I've waited for this fixture since the first game of last season when we did play City under Emery, and we were not great at playing out from the back. I was thinking last season that Emery would still be here this season, and we could measure our progress. It's been a little bit stop-start, but we are definitely going to measure our progress against a wounded animal in Manchester City.
But is it fair? Is it fair to measure Freddie's progress because he doesn't have a fully fit starting 11?
And no, but Pep won't have a fully fit starting 11 either.
But he'll have a fully fit starting 10.
Yes. We'll be playing at home. I'm countering your arguments.
But we'll have far more injuries and an interim manager.
But we have better forwards.
We've got lower confidence.
We've got a good goalkeeper.
They've got Kevin De Bruyne, Sterling, Sane.
We've got Ozil, Mesut Ozil. I just don't think you understand.
Tell me, what's there to understand?
Hey, here we go. Don Juan, thanks for jumping in here. We're a better team than United, in my opinion, and they beat their Manchester rivals. So, do you see a blueprint there for what Manchester United did last weekend, a couple of days ago? Freddie could be looking at that footage.
I think that they have the service. Their front three have the service. Ours do not. They have a slightly stronger defense than ours.
All right, everybody in the comments, predictions with the loss of a 3-1 win tonight, and we will not hold it against you next weekend.
I say 2-2. I want the win. I'll put that on record, but I'll play it safe and I'll say 2-2.
Yeah, it's pretty tough to ask for a win against Manchester City. They're 14 points behind Liverpool. They're not winning the league, but they are a wounded animal.
And Pep sides never give up.
We'll see.
I've never seen a Pep side give up.
Yeah.
Remember last season, they could have given up when they were 10 points behind.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be obviously tough. You look at our midfield of Xhaka and Torreira against their midfield. We're almost going to have to play on the break.
Yeah. And that's why I hope I'd put Willock, Guendouzi, and Torreira in there. A diamond, 4-4-2 diamond. And I'd play Martinelli and Aubameyang up front with Ozil behind.
We'll tell Guendouzi to keep ball for 90 minutes, just to use those PlayStation R1, R2 tricks.
or rugby tackle like Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah. 5-4. But to who, I'm not sure. That would be entertaining. Pep is sticking with David Silva instead of Bernardo in the middle. Will be his undoing. David Silva's on his lazy legs. Maybe he's getting older. David Silva. 2-1 Arsenal. That's what I like to hear, Don Juan. I'm going for the win at home. And why? You know what? I will not hold any of these comments against anyone because we're in the glow of a 3-1 win. It could have been doom and gloom hopes, but let's sign off with a smile on our face. Hasn't happened in a couple of months. It's good day. It's a good night.
Absolutely. Come on,
the Arsenal. We will see what happens in the coming days and weeks. Everybody, I know I'll say this in the next few weeks, but enjoy the Christmas period and enjoy your loved ones. Take care. Family's most important, and come back and see us at Arsenal Fan Circle and have some good times here and there whenever Arsenal win.
Love.
That's what it's all about. 3-1 win. It might have been helter-skelter, but we turned it on in 10 minutes. 10 minutes spell, we got 3 goals, 3 points. We're up the table a little bit. I think we're in 8th place now. Who knows what the season holds for us, but I'm going to finish with who we started out with. Martinelli. I'm going to give him man of the match, even though I didn't see it, only but the highlights. Would you agree with that?
100%. 100%. Thank God for Martinelli.
He reminds me of a Suarez. He reminds me of another South American player that I can't remember right now. Alexis Sanchez, right?
Sanchez, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, on that note, we'll leave it. Thanks for joining me, everybody. Hopes, thanks for coming in as well.
Thank you.
Happy days. 3 points. Sesame Street brought to you today by the number 3. 3 beautiful points. Up the Arsenal. Come on, you Gooners.
Good night, all.
We're out of here. Good night, all. Enjoy.